Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Have you ever heard of the American president who was born in a log cabin, became a college president, a Civil War general, and then completely by accident became the president of the United States, and whose tragic death changed the country forever? Today, we're diving into the incredible and incredibly short story of James A. Garfield, the 20th U.S. president. Born in 1831 in a humble log cabin in Ohio, Garfield was the last president to come from such modest beginnings. His father died when he was just 2, leaving his family in poverty, but young James had an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. He worked his way through school, eventually graduating with honors from Williams College. He didn't just stop there. He returned to his old college, the Western Reserve Eclectic Institute, and became a professor and then its president, all while also becoming a lawyer and a preacher. This guy was a true polymath. When the Civil War broke out, Garfield answered the call. He joined the Union Army and, thanks to his natural leadership, quickly rose to the rank of Major General. His bravery at the Battle of Middle Creek made him a war hero. But while he was still on the battlefield in 1862, something unexpected happened. The people of Ohio elected him to the U.S. House of Representatives. For the next 18 years, Garfield served in Congress, becoming one of its most powerful and respected voices. He was a gifted orator, a passionate advocate for the civil rights of newly freed African Americans, and a strong proponent of cleaning up government corruption. He believed that government jobs should be given based on merit, not political connections. Now here's where the story takes a wild turn. In 1880, Garfield went to the Republican National Convention not to run for president, but to support his friend, John Sherman. The convention was a battlefield. Two main factions, the stalwarts who wanted former President Ulysses S. Grant back, and the half-breeds supporting James G. Blaine, were in a total deadlock. Ballot after ballot, nobody could get a majority. For 35 rounds of voting, the convention was stuck. Frustrated delegates started looking for a compromise, a dark horse candidate who could unite the party. Their eyes fell on James Garfield. He was respected, eloquent, and not tied to either warring faction. On the 36th ballot, to his genuine shock, James A. Garfield was nominated for President of the United States. To keep the peace, a prominent stalwart, Chester A. Arthur, was put on the ticket as his vice president. Garfield ran what was known as a front porch campaign. He stayed home in Mentor, Ohio, and people came to him. He delivered speeches from his own porch to visiting delegations. It was a close race, but he won the election against Democrat Winfield Scott Hancock, becoming the nation's 20th president. Garfield was a man of powerful words. One of his most famous moments came years earlier, on the day after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. A furious mob was gathering on Wall Street, and Garfield, standing above the crowd, calmed them with a simple, powerful message: God reigns and the government at Washington still lives. His inaugural address as president was just as moving, championing education and equality. He said, next in importance to freedom and justice is popular education, without which neither freedom nor justice can be permanently maintained. He entered the White House ready to tackle the big issues: civil rights, education, and especially the corrupt spoils system, where government jobs were handed out as political favors. He was determined to bring reform, but he would never get the chance to see it through. His presidency lasted only 200 days. On July 2, 1881, as he was walking through a Washington, D.C. railroad station, a man named Charles Guiteau shot him in the back. Guiteau was a mentally unstable lawyer who was furious that he hadn't even given a political job he felt he deserved. He had written a rambling speech for Garfield's campaign and believed he was owed a prestigious post as a consul in Paris. When he was rejected, his delusion turned to violence. But the shot didn't kill Garfield immediately. For the next 79 days, the entire nation held its breath as the president fought for his life. The tragedy was compounded by the medical care he received. In a desperate attempt to find the bullet, a dozen different doctors probed the wound with unsterilized fingers and instruments. This was before the widespread understanding of germ theory. They introduced a massive infection, and Garfield's condition slowly worsened. He suffered terribly from sepsis and pneumonia before finally passing away on September 19, 1881. Modern medical experts believe that if the doctors had simply left him alone, he likely would have survived. Garfield's assassination sent shockwaves through America. It was a national trauma, but it also became a catalyst for profound change. The motive of his killer laid bare the poisonous reality of the spoils system. The public was outraged that the president had been murdered by someone who felt entitled to a government job. The cry for reform became deafening. In 1883, just over a year after Garfield's death, Congress passed the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act. And who signed it into law? None other than President Chester A. Arthur, the former stalwart who had once benefited from the very system he was now dismantling. The law established that government jobs should be awarded based on merit, determined by competitive exams rather than political connections. It was the beginning of the professional civil service we know today, so the legacy of James A. Garfield is a paradox. His presidency was one of the shortest in history, but his death led to one of the most important government reforms in the 19th century. He was a brilliant man of humble origins who rose to the highest office, only to be struck down by the very corruption he sought to end. His story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the most significant legacies are born from the greatest tragedies. It's a lesson in how a single life and a single death can change the course of a nation. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments what historical figure you'd like to learn about next. See you in the next video.